Okay, it cut off there right after 3,000 years. Lord Carnarvon is not in this picture, not in this picture, top right, but somewhere nearby. The picture, bottom left, shows four rooms that comprise Tutankhamun's treasure. The bottom right picture is what Howard Carter would have seen looking into the burial chamber. So you can see here that this is English, but that is not. That is Byolshi annex. That's Hyunshil. That's Chonshil, Ipku Bokdo, and uh, Bomuriban. Anyways, so this was in the Korean War Memorial Museum. So here is where the sarcophagus would have been and the mummy. Here were his treasures and the sorts of things that he would need to live in the afterlife. In this room here, you had a lot of you had because when they mummified somebody, they took out their organs and put them into jars, which they called canoptic jars, and canoptic receptacles, and a lot of them are in here, along with various gold ornaments and different things. So let's go to the next one. So, Highclere Castle in Yorkshire, UK, was the home of Lord Carnarvon, who was the principal financier and whose patronage made the find of Tutankhamun's tomb possible. Bottom right is Howard Carter. And I took some of these pictures, three of them, and I remember it being very, very hot when I did. So, Tutankhamun's tomb entrance. Naturally, the fee for entering it was higher than the fees for entering other tombs in the Valley of the Kings. It's a center picture. To the right is one of the only known statues of Tutankhamun and his royal wife, Ankhesenamun, in Luxor Temple. Okay, we're making good time. Tutankhamun and Akhenaten. Why was Tutankhamun's name changed? When he was born, his perhaps eccentric father Akhenaten named him Tutankhaten. He would later be called Tutankhamun. Like his father, part of his name included a deity, and that deity was the sun god Aten, whom his father had whisked into existence when he changed Egypt from polytheism to monotheism. I guess, yeah. Who had the influence or the power to influence the young pharaoh Tutankhamun to change to Tutankhamun? Was it the nobles? History tells us that it was the priests who had this power. But what about the nobles? Where had they gone to? This topic has been covered by Teriel Fivish in her book, All My Glory, an excellent read. I have used the flashlight method to expand on this in connection with Tutankhamun. Akhenaten was called the heretic pharaoh because he switched Egypt from polytheism to monotheism. This was later considered an egregious error, and he was vilified for this in succeeding dynasties. Unlike many other pharaohs, Akhenaten's statues look alike, and they look like an actual person. Where did he get the idea for monotheism? That's something we'll cover later. Below is the bust of his famous wife, Nefertiti. So at this time, Egypt was known as the land of Kemet. How is Tutankhamun connected with the biblical character Joseph? How is Tutankhamun connected with Joseph in the Bible? The region of Egypt known today as Sharqiya Governorate was known in antiquity as Avaris or Hatwaret. In this place are the remains of a palace that was not built for an Egyptian. Many pieces of information point to this area as being the place Joseph had his headquarters and where his father Jacob spent his last years. How is Joseph connected with Tutankhamun's name change? If it was not the nobles, so let me just pause for a moment here. So this statue that's in this tomb is 9 feet tall. It's a 9-foot tall chapel, which means it could have been anywhere from 10 to 12 feet, this part here. And the statue is 280 centimeters. And there were 12 tombs found on the property. And there was a large, magnificent palace here that had 12 colonnade pillars. That's an interesting number. And inside this, I'm going to include a video in the link. Let me just make sure of something. Okay.